episode, we're just about restarting, picking yourself back up after falling down. Because really, we don't talk enough about how hard it is for us to start things all over again and for us to just lose that consistency streak. Yeah, I also talked about what I have in my cup and also what did I talk about in this episode? I also talked about my Duolingo streak. I spoke about my Duolingo streak a whole lot. And at the end of the episode, an hypothetical question was asked about starting your life all over again.
Hey fam, you're listening to Becoming You, the podcast for adults figuring it out. Now let's get into it. I'm an adult. What am I supposed to do?
Hi fam, welcome to another episode of the pod. My name is Bukola and I'm the host of the BecomingU podcast, where we talk about everything adulting. It's been 2 weeks since I did this, and 2 weeks of not dropping episodes, of not dropping a new episode, 2 weeks of going MIA on you. I'm so sorry. I'm actually so sorry. I disappeared. A lot has happened in 2 weeks actually, and I can't wait to give you all the updates I have. I can't wait to just spill it all. And for some reason, I don't know why, I'm scared. Like, I don't know, I feel like my voice is even shaky. I don't know how to explain it. My heart is pounding, literally. It feels like it's been a long time since I did this. Actually, it's been a long time since I did a solo episode. The last time I dropped a solo episode was last year. And now coming back to recording a solo episode feels so, I don't know, it feels so fresh. It feels so new. It feels like I'm doing it for the first time because I feel like it looks like a terrain I've never played in. And yeah, just come along with me as I ease into this. I also have a cup of mango juice here to help me ease into it. And this cup was given to me by my partner. Yeah, it has my name on it, my full name, Oluwabukolami. I got the cup as a gift in, I think in 2020 after my project defense and stuff. So he gave me as the gift to say congratulations. So it's been how many years now? But yeah, I have my mango juice there. I use it to be my confidence booster today, to just give me the energy I need to pull this through and just record this episode. And I want you guys to give me suggestions of drinks I can have while recording an episode. One, I am lactose intolerant, and 2, I don't like sugary stuffs. I also react to orange juice most times. 3, what's the third thing? I don't know. So yeah, I would like suggestions that are very healthy, very nice, very cool, very calm. Yeah, I think I'm easing it already. Let me take a sip. I'm trying to drink in a very demure way so that my lipstick doesn't get smeared. And I can have my lips like this all through the recording session today. Oh, okay. So it's been 2 weeks. A lot has happened in 2 weeks. And I know, like, okay, coming back to starting the season 2 of this podcast this year, I had plans for it. I had the intention of making it very conversational, and that was why I tried getting a co-host for the pod. But due to like reasons that are beyond my control and the control of my previous co-hosts, the podcast I just had to decide that at this point in time, it wasn't the best thing bringing a co-host on board because I feel like there's still a lot of things I still need to do before like fully effecting that. There's still a lot of changes I still have to like make, a lot of provisions I still have to make for a remote co-host collaboration to pull through. So all this is just to tell you all that right now we have no co-host for the pod anymore. So I'm like the host of the pod, Bukola, and I'm still trying to find other ways of making it quite conversational. So the two ideas I'm still working on and trying to review now are one, having interviews with various people on different subject matters. And we just bring different people on board. But if I'll be doing that, I'll be tilting more to like just dropping audio episodes. So we'll just be bringing different people on board to talk about different subject matters. Or we can just make it a public opinion thing where I ask different people questions and just review their questions on the board, get their answers and just analyze them together. So that way we're able to get diverse views on a particular thing and not just me yapping into your ears. But however, today's episode is just going to be me myself and I. Still, what have I been up to? I've been up to re-strategizing and trying to like get my confidence to come back on and do an episode. I've been up to like, I don't know, do you know, I almost actually gave up on the whole podcast thingy because I felt like it wasn't working out. And I had a conversation with my friend, you know, why am I trying to do this thing? Why am I working so hard to have a podcast on? Why am I trying to be out there and stuff? Like, it's actually very stressful. And I went on this ranting spree and my friend just asked me a simple question. She was like, if you stop this thing, would you be happy with yourself? And honestly, I was like, no, I wouldn't. I feel like I killed a part of me. And I think that was the answer I needed at that point to just keep on moving and to just stay afloat. So yeah, I feel like, yep, I've been up to trying to get the right words to help me and to just keep me encouraged through my journey or through this journey, this podcasting journey. Aside from that, also, let's go to the lighter conversation. I feel like this is getting too deep. I'm getting in my emotions, getting emotion. Still. I also lost my Duolingo streak. You guys know how much I care about keeping my consistency streak. Yeah, I lost the consistency streak with the podcast. So I mean, 2 weeks of not dropping an episode. And I just see, I should have actually started this episode with an apology. So I am very, very sorry to everyone listening to this. Fam, I'm so sorry for not dropping episodes for 2 weeks straight up. Like, how dare I? Why would I have done that? I am so sorry, guys. See, accept my apology. I'm so sorry. Aside from that, I lost my Duolingo streak as well. Like, my Duolingo streak, I was already on like 430 something days of learning French. I would have just spoken more French for you guys here, but I don't like showing myself. I don't want it to look like I'm being proud and I don't want to show off. So yeah, them just keep it cool and speak English that you understand. So I lost the streak and it was so painful because I felt like, okay, where do I start from now that I have lost my Duolingo streaks? And I feel like everything that's happened to me in the last couple of days, or let's say in the last 2 weeks, have just brought me to talk about what I'm about to talk about for this episode. Yes, you know, I don't know. Have you guys ever lost your consistency streak before? Have you ever lost your consistency streak? Do you know how demoralizing it can be to stop doing something you've always done for whatsoever reason? It's actually very painful. Let me know. Have you ever lost your Duolingo streak? How did you react to it? Or how did you handle the situation? Did you pick yourself back up? It's that from ground zero again? Or like, have you ever been inconsistent or something that you found very important and you were trying so hard to be consistent with? How did you handle the situation? What did you do? How did you pick yourself back up? How did you get back into being consistent? Because I have this theory. Yeah. I believe that when you lose, how would I say it? Like, let's say you've been doing something for a long time, then you now stop doing it for just a day or a moment. I feel like that just leads to a sequence of other events of you not caring about the thing. That, for instance, let's say you said you have this new year, you set this new year resolution for yourself at the beginning of the year that also this year I'm going to have like my morning devotion, and every day you wake up, you pray, you have your morning devotion. So I have this theory that but missing that devotion for a day just makes it click in your head that, you know, nothing is actually going to happen if I miss this thing. Nobody's going to beat me. And like that, you just begin to normalize missing your devotions, and before you know, you actually totally stop doing your devotions. I feel like that's how inconsistency comes to just disrupt our consistency flow or our dedication to something. Yeah, and I think that was how my Duolingo stuff started too. It was like missing a day, missing 2 days, and before I knew it, I normalized it and I missed like 5 days and it just kicks me out. But I picked myself back up and I started that again. Then the podcast too, I picked myself back up and I'm here again. And I just want to talk about the process of starting all over. In a nutshell, the occurrences of the last 2 weeks have inspired today's conversation because I feel like pressing a restart button is such a big deal and we do not give it enough attention or the attention it deserves. Whether we're pressing that restart button consciously or unconsciously, it is actually a very, very big deal. But before we go into getting, like, before we talk about pressing the restart button, I mean, something has to happen before you have to restart something or before you restart something. And that is, you have to stop something or you have to like pause. Because I'm talking about restarting something. So you have to pause it. You have to pause before you can press play. So why do we need to pause anything we're doing? There are various reasons why we should pause what we're doing and take that break. And there are two ways pausing a particular thing you love doing. There are two ways it can happen. It can happen consciously or unconsciously. First, I'll talk about how it can happen unconsciously. You can break your consistency streak with something you enjoy doing or stop doing something you enjoy doing due to factors that might be beyond your control. Probably you start running out of time and it became impossible for you to meet up and you were unable to just balance things out. And slowly but gradually, you stopped being consistent at the thing. And before you knew it, you actually even forgot that thing was part of your routine and was something you loved doing. And the other way is if either not having like time and chance to do it or being very lackadaisical about it and not caring about it anymore and just slowly letting it fade off. You miss it, you miss doing it, but you can't just bring yourself back into doing it because your bad behavior let you quit. Don't mind me, don't mind me, don't mind me. But e.g., my Duolingo and how my bad behavior let me quit my Duolingo. But then how can we consciously stop or how can we consciously press that pause button? There are times we find ourselves doing things we enjoy doing. For instance, I enjoy podcasting. However, there are times like very many times I've caught myself doing it the wrong way. I don't even know if I would say I was doing it the wrong way, but I wasn't just satisfied with what I was doing. And I've had to press the pause button constantly, time and time again. Not even only with podcasting, with chasing a career. There are times I've had to like press the pause button and it is always born out of self-consciousness and just deep reflection. The times I've just had to like take a break from anything I'm doing to just understand, okay, why am I caught up in this flow of things? Why am I doing what I'm doing? Do I actually need to do this thing I'm doing? Why should I continue doing what I'm doing? Am I really happy doing what I'm doing? I feel like these are questions that we're always so scared to ask ourselves, but they are very better questions that we need to constantly ask ourselves as they keep guiding how our output and our attitude to the things we do and keep guiding like how the interest we actually have in the things we do. There is this book I came across on actually a book of a lot of small short stories. And is it short stories or poems? I think it was a mixture of both. Like the book had short stories and they also had poems. So there was this particular story in the book that I loved so much. The author was saying that movies on zombies perfectly illustrates how we as humans live our lives. Like most of us, we just go with the flow of things without understanding why we're actually flowing. Like a lot of people are caught up with the flow of either working in 9 to 5 or freelancing or just making money. And the cycle is just wake up, make money, sleep, wake up, make money, sleep, wake up, make money, sleep. And slowly, but certainly those kind of people that are just caught up in the flow of things, their lights begin to dim. Like nothing excites them anymore because for them it's like it's a routine and it's a routine they just have to do because they've been told that they have to do it. And being caught up in the flow of things is not just being caught up in the flow of capitalism now. Like the way the book explained it, there's also being caught up in the flow of just living life, following the societal order of things. Like, okay, I have to finish school. I have to get married. After I get married, I have to have kids without knowing the reasons why you are doing those things. You just know that you have to follow that flow and you're following the flow. And then we have people stuck in this cycle, being very unhappy with themselves, unhappy with their family, unhappy with the position they're at. The author of this book actually uses his father as an example. And he said how his father wanted to be a marine engineer or something like that, wanted to work on a ship or something and just travel around the world. But because he had to follow the other things, he had to get married, he had to have kids, and it was really harsh on his kids. He was not a present dad, he was an alcoholic. So it was really a very violent man that influenced his kids' life negatively. This author, seeing how his father lived, was very determined not to live the same life his father lived. And he was very determined to just consciously make effort and put effort into becoming a better person and live consciously. Hence, he chose his life path without having to follow the conventional career path or life path that other people would have expected him to follow. He became an author. And he was talking about how even while he was doing what he enjoyed doing, which is writing, he still felt that there were times he felt lost in the flow of things, and he had to take a break to question why he was doing what he was doing. He didn't want to be like, he did not want to find himself in that position where he was just writing because he needed to put books out. He needed to publish books and then people to just read his books. He wanted to find meaning and purpose in what he was doing. And that is why reflecting deeply and taking a break, pressing the pause button sometimes is very necessary for us as humans, because it helps us ask ourselves very important questions like, why am I even here? And the 2 weeks break I took from the podcast, I did ask myself that question, like, why am I even podcasting? Why am I so into it? Like, why do I want to do it? Like, what is the essence of all of this? Why am I not just staying at home and just talking to people I can talk to about the things in my mind? Why do I feel like I need to take the mic and talk into the mic? And I feel having that moment of reflection helps me reiterate why I am actually doing what I'm doing, and why I need to continue doing this, honestly. And I feel like that is actually one of my greatest fear in this life, living in a zombified way. Let me just say, living without understanding, living and not living, living just because, like, living by being alive and just surviving without actually living by feeling purposeful and feeling like I'm living a life of impact. So yeah, so that's like my greatest fear. That's the process we often go through when we have to consciously press the pause button. It's like you're reflecting. It's just, it's born out of a moment of self-reflection where you just have to be like, calm down, calm down, calm down. Yes, I'm doing this thing. Yes, I love doing this thing. But why? Why exactly am I doing it? Fam, let me know. Have you ever asked yourself, why? Like, why am I doing this thing? Like, why am I in school? There's some places we cannot abruptly press the pause button because you have to see yourself through particular processes. But at times you just ask yourself like, okay, what is the essence of all of this? Why am I doing all of this? I asked myself that question too when I finished my master's, because not the natural, but the order of things people expected for me is that after my master's, I'll pursue a PhD. But I had to pause and ask myself, like, why do I have to pursue a PhD now? Like now, because I might do that in the future. What will I actually gain from it? Why do I have to just blindly follow the order of things? So yeah, I feel asking yourself why, in like deeply reflecting or deeply thinking about stuff, so having deep conversations with yourself and asking yourself why you're doing certain things is very, very important for us to live like purposeful lives. Like, ask yourself why. Let's say you've done this, you caught yourself in a flow that you're not excited with. You're doing what you like, by the way, but you don't just like the flow. You're not content with the flow. You're not content with it just feels like you're surviving through it and you're not enjoying the process. And now you've reflected deeply and you've asked yourself why. And you've seen that, okay, maybe you need to take a break to figure things out. Then you press that pause button. So now, moving to the next phase of the conversation, how do we smoothly transition from the moments we press the pause button to the moments where we have to press the restart button? Because it's actually so hard. It's so hard for you to stop doing something that probably you were not. It's actually hard for you to stop doing something and just start all over again. It's very hard. It's not like just picking yourself back up after falling down, honestly. Because before you even press that pause button, either you press the pause button because you're tired, or you're not getting your desired results, or you just feel frustrated, or you just feel exhausted. Those are the things that will actually push you to deeply reflect on why you're even doing it. Because if you're fully happy, if you're enjoying the flow, if you're totally content with how things are going, I feel like you might not get to that point of having to reflect and press the pause button. Most times we press the pause button because we are not content with how things are going. To like, wait, why is this thing going like this? It's looking so shady and so so somehow. Let me pause and see if I'm actually doing it the right way. So now getting back into the rhythm of things, that's after pausing something that is not going well is hard, because during the pause moment, during that moment where you paused it, now you're asking yourself questions. You might even be partly feeling like a failure. Like, okay, why did I get it right the first time? Why did I have to press pause? Please let me know why I had to press pause. There is that part. There's also the part where you're asking yourself, or where you feel like, okay, now what will people think about me when I come back? And there's also the part where you're feeling like, I have to come back with a banger after pressing pause. Like, I have to come back. Like, okay, during this break, I already created one masterpiece. And now, if you're not getting the masterpiece, you'll be reluctant to come back because you need that masterpiece to prove to the world that the break you took was worth it. Like, why do we put so much pressure on ourselves? Honestly, I feel like adulting is so hard. And yes, we as adults still find a way of putting ourselves in problems that are self-generated, self-inflicted problems. Because at the end of the day, nobody might actually care about you or your break or how many breaks you are taking. And even if they care, who's counting? What is their business? But somehow we might say, oh, what would people think? But the real idea is, what are we thinking? Or the real thing is, what are we actually thinking about ourselves when we take these breaks? The first time I took a break with podcast was last year. After the season 1 of the pod, I took a break. I was like, oh, I want to prepare for season 2. I'm coming this time with a banger. I'm going to come with a co-host. It was a struggle finding a co-host. Then I came with a co-host and everything. But season 2 wasn't really going as planned as well. And I started feeling so bad. I started feeling like, okay, this thing is not working out. Maybe this thing is not for me. Maybe I'm just doing rubbish. Maybe I should just stop and just go back into hiding or something. I had that conversation with myself. So I feel like it's just a feeling that comes with posting from something. Having to now stop with the season 2 midway, you need to see how bad I felt about myself. Because I just felt like, oh more. So the long break I took from season 1 to season 2, I couldn't come up with a masterpiece. I started believing in myself. I don't know if anybody cares. I don't know if anybody's thinking about it that way. But honestly, I'll project and say, oh, people are seeing it that way. But it's just because of how I actually see myself, how I actually see my process, how I actually see all the expectations I have set for myself and the problems I have self-created. I have created for myself, honestly. So yeah, that break, when you're taking a break for something you love doing because you feel like it's not working well, that period, the break period, a lot of things are going on. The devil is working twice as hard because a lot of things that are trying to make you not to get back into the rhythm of things. It's like you're trying to get back, but something is like you can't start that thing once you do. Like you need to have your masterpiece before you start. So you have things that are delaying you. You're waiting for the perfect time. You're waiting for the perfect moment. And mind you, public service announcement, there is no perfect time for anything. You want to do it, just do it now. Do it when it comes to your mind. Just do what you have to do. Honestly, but like those are the tools and the tactics. I'm not trying to make this a sermon of the devil to stop you from getting back into the rhythm of things. But yeah, so yeah, having that feeling of self-pity after taking a break from something because it's not working as planned is quite normal. It happens to the best of us because you're pitying yourself. You're like, and nobody's seeing the hard work I'm putting into this thing. Oh, nobody's seeing what I'm doing. Oh, nobody's seeing this. Oh, nobody's doing that. Or feeling like people are judging you when they never see you. And you're like, people will think I'm an unserious person now. How many times have I taken a break from you guys? These are the conversations like I had in my head, like I've been having in my head for the past 2 weeks. I'm just saying them out loud now, really. She's like, okay, what are people going to say about me? And these breaks that I've been taking. What if people that don't like me are excited that I'm taking breaks and I'm not getting it right? I feel like at the end of the day, it's very important to silence the noise. As you're taking that break, you guys, let me take my mango juice again. My truth is getting dried up. I don't have focusing on the external factors like what will people say, oh, they'll think I'm unserious, oh, how many breaks do I have to take before I get it right? I think it's very important for us to focus on internal, like while you are at that phase of transitioning from the phase of transitioning from taking a break from something you love doing and getting back into the rhythm of something you love doing, your process or your reflection at that point has to be deeply like internal. It has to be internal. You have to ask yourself questions like, not questions like, what will people think of me when I come back and I'm not coming back with a banger? Not questions like, oh, what will people think of me for taking these numerous breaks? You have to ask yourself questions like, why was I not genuinely happy by the results I was getting from the process? What changed? What do I have to do differently to make myself feel fulfilled? What do I have to do differently to make this thing feel promising for me and not not the external factors? Yeah. So I feel like it's very important to ask ourselves reflective questions that will make us like deeply reflect on why we had to take that break for ourselves in the very first place. And I feel like what mistakes did I make too? Because most times when you're doing something and you're not getting the right outcome, you're probably not doing it right. And that is something that I have come to terms with. Like there's like a 70% chance that you're not doing it right. That's why you're not getting the right outcome. So you need to just deeply reflect and ask yourself, like, what did I do wrong? What are my mates doing differently? what can I do to improve this? You don't need to get it right the next time you start it, but let there be an improvement. What can I do to improve? How can I correct some of the mistakes I feel like I made previously? And that's something I think I have always done with every break I've taken. I might not be perfect, but I know I'm coming back better than I left, because during those period of during the break period, it's always like, okay, what can I do differently? What can I do to just make myself feel happy? And Canva has become my second home. I just go to Canva, create designs here and there, and it's like, oh, okay, I feel more content to what I'm saying. I feel more content to the visuals I'm getting. I feel more content with the designs I created. I have done branding there like 101 times. So I feel more content with the branding I have now. So yeah, I feel like coming back from a break is really hard. And you are the only one capable of bringing yourself out of that break you've taken from something you love doing by being truthful with yourself. So that conversation you'll be having between that at that transition phase needs to be a very truthful conversation. You need to look yourself in the mirror and ask yourself, why? Why did I stop? What was that feeling I was getting? Did I feel like I was making a fool of myself in front of the camera, or with that job I was doing, or in that relationship, or by expressing love to that person? Ask yourself very serious questions. What should I have done differently? What could I have done differently? And you can also consult your friends, because sometimes you might be blind to your faults. You might be blind to the downs you went through. You might know that, oh, something wasn't right. Something wasn't making me feel fulfilled. Something wasn't making me feel like I was putting my best foot forward. You can talk to your friends and ask them, you followed this. What do you think I did wrong? What do you think I can do better? How do you think I can best position myself? Okay, you know me, because I have friends that will tell that I know them more than they know themselves. But you can also ask them, sorry, I have hair in my mouth. Okay, you know me. How do you feel like I can improve the execution of this thing I am doing? Because I really love doing this thing. I need to get back into the rhythm of things. And you can make changes, small changes here and there. E.g., my Duolingo now, so that I will not lose my streak again. Before the way my schedule worked before, my Duolingo was always reserved for the end of the day. And, I always reserved, doing my Duolingo or doing my Duolingo activity for the end of the day. So after I have done everything and I'm tired and I'm about to sleep, I'll just pick up my Duolingo and work on it and just mark my attendance for the day. But what I noticed was that most times when I pick up my phone at that time, I sleep off without completing the assignments or completing the activity. Then I wake up a minute past 12. The enemy. The enemy. I wake up a minute past 12 and I'm like, what? Why? And I lost and it happens that I would just lose the streak for that day. You guys, have this thing happened to you before when you're planning to do something and you need to do it before midnight, but then you will just sleep off a couple of minutes before midnight, and you wake up after midnight and you're like, the devil, I see you, but you know it. But yeah, that's it. So now what I did was to change the time, or what I have done now is to change my time for practicing my Duolingo activity. I was like, okay, since I sleep off at night and that hinders me from doing it properly, now I'll shift it to morning. While I'm doing my morning routine or my devotion and every other thing I do in the morning, then I will now mark my attendance on Duolingo in the morning. And that way, I think everybody will be happy. Duolingo streak is marked, French is being learnt, and everybody's excited. I don't know if that's going to work out. I just don't guarantee that I might not, I won't fuck it up again, but I'll try my best not to fuck it up again, sure. So yeah, I feel like that moment of transition is hard. And if you do not, the moment of transition from taking a break at something you love doing and getting back into it is so hard. And if you're not intentional, if you don't make it all about you, you might get lost in your thoughts, lost in your own head, lost in the fear of what people will think about you, lost in the fear of what will people say about you, and you will never get back in the rhythm of the things you used to do, because you're busy wondering, what will people say? What will people think? How will they see me? Instead of you to ask yourself the questions like, why did I get it wrong the first time? What do I need to do to get it right? Well, how can I feel happier with this thing? How can I feel more fulfilled with this thing? So yeah, I feel like there's a need for us to direct our energy into the right way for a nice transition from the break to getting back into something to happen smoothly. You need to focus on you, because it's all about you at the end of the day. the noise, the distraction does not actually matter. While you are pressing that pause button on something you love doing because you think you need to reevaluate things, also silence the noise while you're at it. Like, pause the distraction as well. Pause the external voices as well. And just make it all about you. Let your transition phase be all about you, all about what you love doing, and all about how you can make it better for yourself. Make the experience better for yourself and for the people that you are probably putting it out there for. I don't know. That is when, if it's something like a podcast, if it's something like a content, but if it's something like more like a job, like if you're taking that, when you're pressing that pause, it's probably because you do not enjoy the activity or the job. When you're pressing the pause, you have to just pause it, pause the noise as well, and focus on you. What skills can you develop? What skills can you develop to help you get back into the job market stronger? What skills can you develop to help you get back into, to help you get the job you actually truly desire that will make you feel fulfilled, that will make you feel happy? If you're taking a pause, taking a break from being in a relationship or from loving because you've been loving wrongly, you're not focusing on the noise or people that will be like counting for you, like, why are you dropping in and out of relationships? The break has to be on you. Like, you have to like prioritize yourself during the phase of taking a break. You have to prioritize yourself during the break phase and focus on you. Ask yourself questions like, you know, what went wrong in these last two relationships? Why didn't I not get it right in this last two relationships? Is it the kind of people? Are they the ones? Am I the one? What are the criteria to look out for not to fall in this, not to just be with the same kind of people? I'm not saying there's a manual for this thing, because honestly, when it comes to matters of the heart, most times you don't get to choose. Maybe you just block yourself from talking to certain kind of people because you don't want the cycle to continue. But don't focus on the noise of how many times do you want to do this over and over again. My dear, nobody's counting. If you have to keep trying to get it right, then we'll keep trying. How many times are we allowed to press the restart button? How many times are we allowed to start over again to figure it out? 99 times, 9 times, or 999 times, 9 times? I don't know. But nobody is counting. And if anybody is counting, nobody cares about them. Focus on you. It's your process. It's your journey. It's your journey, it's your process. It's about you. It's not about what people think. It's about how it makes you feel and how you can feel better doing the things you actually genuinely love doing. I feel like this episode is just like a ranting session. So I feel like this episode is just like a ranting session where I've come to tell you people everything I went through during the last 2 weeks. But I just told you the normal one at the beginning of the episode, and now I'm going through what was going on in my head during the 2 weeks break I took from podcasting. So yeah, I just feel like this episode I'm just going on and on. But really, starting again sometimes can be humiliating. It can feel like a bit humiliating. Having to start my Duolingo streak again. I'm just here looking at those people that have like 200 days or people that have more than me. Like, you guys don't know that I'm a queen in this thing. It's just condition. And I was still telling Busayo that now I'm just passing all the activities they've been giving me because I have passed the space. Imagine doing activity for someone that is in day 1 and day 2 when I was already on day 400 and something, guys. I keep talking about Duolingo because I'm so pissed at them. And yeah, starting all over again can be humiliating. It's like, why do you have to start again? Like, why? But I feel like it's a necessary process one might have to go through to get their desired results. If you need to start again and just start afresh, just always do it. And the main thing is for us not to give up on ourselves, not to give up on our goals because of some hiccups, some road bumps, some roadblocks. You can take a break to see how you can jump over the road bump or how you can take a round turn around the roadblock. Just take that break when you need it. Take that break when you have to take it. Take that break your soul desires, your mind desires to rest. Your heart desires to rest, to figure things out. Take that break when you need to take it, and always, give yourself time and space to take everything in before pressing the restart button once again, before getting into, if you're taking a break on work, you might not be able to press the restart button at any given time unless you already have like saved up funds. You might just have to take the break while you're still doing other things or taking other jobs. But like if it's like something like content, something like relationship, and you have to like take a break from getting into relationships or from podcasting or from doing anything you think you love doing, take the break you so desire try to reflect on certain situations to see how you can improve them, how they can just be better, how you can do better as well. And when you're coming back into it, press the restart button only when you feel like you're ready, not because you're being pressured into getting back into it or jumping back into it, because you might not feel like you're still doing it for you. At the end of the day, life is actually so short, and I feel there's a need to always prioritize ourselves, always prioritize our needs and I don't know if I would say satisfaction or happiness. Honestly, just living life truly and not just moving with the flow when it's chaotic, when it's harmful, when it's leaving you unhappy. You want to do something you love doing in a loving way and genuinely enjoy it, not do something you love doing in a way that makes you feel so burdened and so sad and so disturbed. So yeah, I feel like that's all I have to say on this episode. And I just feel like I've been ranting. I just want you to take this home with you. Do that thing. Take that break you have to take if you need the break. And how many times is it okay for you to take a break? 999 times. 99 times. Really, as many times as you need to, as many times as you have to. Feel free to always start again. There's always time and chance to go again. You can always start again. There's no age limit to starting again. There's no age limit to going after that dream you once abandoned. Go after it fiercely. You're only here for a while. Make yourself happy. Prioritize your happiness. And I feel like this is a very solemn episode. It's not always going to be like this because it's solo. Don't worry. Next week's topic, I'm going to look for a very interesting topic to talk about. I'm not going to talk about anything that will make you feel down. And before we go, just to light something, let me ask you a question. So this question is, hypothetically, if there was actually a restart button for us to restart our lives all over again from the beginning, would you press it? Would you press it? Like, if there was a restart button right now, like if someone had told you that your kitchen by your cooking gas, there's a restart button, and all you have to do is press it, then you become a baby once again. Would you actually press it? Let me know in the comments why you would press it. And if you would not be pressing it, let me also know in the comments. Let me give you my answer. I feel like I'll press it only on one condition. If I'll be going back having the knowledge I have today, and yeah, going back to being a kid with all the knowledge I already have about, like, all the knowledge, everything, all the experiences I already have about life today, I think I'll press it because now I know things that can be done differently. Now I know how I could have avoided some mistakes. Now I know crypto is the future. I could have just gotten it then. Now I know I would have just advised my parents, even if probably I wasn't financially buoyant at the time to get it when it was still coming up and all. But yeah, I know those things. I know that COVID would happen. Now I know COVID will happen and I'll just be prepared for 2020 to start my influencing online career. You guys, the list is endless, but really let me know, hypothetically, if there was a button for you to restart your entire life again from the scratch, would you press it? But if I was going to, if the button erases my memory as well, I will never press it, because surviving my life once is enough for me. I can't go back to just doing that whole thing. Yeah, adulting is annoying. Adulting is stressful. Adulting is from one problem to another sometimes. But yeah, it's nice to be an adult. I don't want to go back to being a kid and a baby and a toddler and an adolescent, having pimples, breaking out, starting period. No, I don't want all that. But yeah, I think that's all for this episode. But yeah, let me just get off this mic. And I'm so happy that I was able to successfully record that episode, even with the fears in my heart and my pounding heart. Oh, so nice to be back. Bye, guys. Remember to share, like, subscribe. What else? Like, share, subscribe. Tell a friend to tell a friend so that our podcast can get more visibility. Thank you. Bye-bye.